Hey, welcome back. After several weeks, sleepless nights, a 3-hour drive to Taos County, getting another transmission for some parts, and a lot of grunting, we've got our transmission back in the car. And you can see there's new seals around there. We've got the output shaft properly torqued. We got it up on the bell housing. That was pretty easy. Just put it up on your belly and lift. It goes pretty well. Yeah, I've got to replace some rubber bits over there. I have them. Not going to do it today. We'll save that for another day. We've got our reverse line on there, our reverse wire. And to get that cursed thing back in, you do have to take the fill plug out, which is convenient because I'm going to fill this, but I'm not going to fill it through the fill plug. I'm going to fill it through the shifter thing, hole place. A lot easier until fluid comes out of there. I've got to take off this mount, which I cleverly put back on earlier, and that's what caused me to drop this transmission on its top and break the top that I had. Everything's still okay inside. The top just broke off. The shifter connection there broke off, and I had to go get an old transmission that had a top, so I could replace that. But to really effectively, I don't know if you can see this easily, to get the speedometer cable line on, there it is. It's easier if you just take this off. So we're going to take this off. Going to get that on, get this back on, put a jack underneath here, lift this up so that we can get our cross member back in. And then we've got a transmission in the car again. It's lovely. And then we'll put the drive line in. I could have this together tonight if I wanted to put the time in. As I look down here, of course, there's some oil on the pan of the car. It's not excessive. It's not dripping. So I don't think any of the mains are leaking in there. The transmission was covered in transmission fluid. It wasn't engine oil, it was transmission fluid. So this all started because I changed out a U-joint. And now we're here. And it's like 2 months later. I have a problem. I'll bring you back when I get some more stuff in here, and we'll get this back in and drive this damn car again. And now, because we have this nice hole in the top of the transmission where our shifter goes, it's much easier to get our fluid in here. So we'll put that in until it comes out underneath, and then we're full. Yeah, that's handy. It's not going to go through, but it's handy. Okay, we got our cross member in. We've got our reverse light hooked up. We've got our speedometer cable hooked up. I think there's another bracket that goes up higher that this car is missing right now. And we've got our transmission mount hooked up. So transmission's in. Now we just have to put the drive line in. Ideally, that should take 15-20 minutes. And I think I'm going to do it. I think I'll finish this tonight. But 2 pieces. You've already seen the driveline extravaganza special, beating out U-joints. I bought a press. I haven't put it together yet, and now I don't need it. But I will. I'll need it again for sure. But yeah, we're here. Transmission's totally in and ready to go. And if we get a drive line in, we can rock and roll. All right, it's it's been about 4 days, and this is day 75 of the Volvo transmission driveline project. And I've cleaned up some of the aftermath, and we've actually got the driveline here, and it's ready to go. Not painting it or anything, just kind of keeping original for now. But we've got all our bits cleaned up, and we've got our new U-joints in, and I'm looking at the diagrams here, and we are, on this one, this 65, this is a Type 2 support bearing. There's also a type 1 and a type 3. And there's type 1 there. And they're all slightly different. And I got in an online argument with someone that was telling me I need to do this, this, and this. I said, I don't have those parts. He's like, well, you're missing parts. And I'm like, no, I have a type 2 driveline. He's like, they're all the same. Nope. According to the Volvo Green Book, which I don't have the cover of here, there are 3 different types, and I have the type 2, which incorporates the drive shaft. The support are these 2 little rubber bumpers. The bearing is in this kind of carrier here, and it's already in there. It goes in this way, but the way this goes, this guy goes on there first, then the bearing, then I think the thrust washer, and no, then this is the washer that you're supposed to bend over to lock the nut, and then the thrust washer, something like that. I'll show you when I get it in. And then if you remember right, inside this nut that goes over that end of the drive shaft, right here, it says felt seal. I also got in an online argument with someone that said there's no seal in the drive line. What the hell's that? That's what came out, and that is the original felt seal. So what I did is I took an old radiator hose and I cut a slice out of that, the same thickness width as that felt seal, and you can see this was originally cut on a diagonal here, and the same with this side over here. They were cut on a diagonal so that it would slip in and out of the shaft here just fine. And what I did was I cut that piece of rubber and I cut that same diagonal, and it's sitting there very comfortably. And as you tighten that down, it will squeeze it slightly around that shaft and hold oil in on the splines. That's what it's for. Modern sticky oil, you probably don't even need that. However, that will help block some of it coming out and just help this be better altogether. If you want to do it, great. If you don't want to do that, great. I don't care. That's what I'm doing. So we're ready to put this back in the car. It really is 8 bolts and a big nut. And underneath the car, I've already got the brand new bolt kits. These are the old ones. They're probably perfectly serviceable, but it was missing one. So I'm going to just replace those. You can get the brand new kits from VP and Classic Volvo Restoration, and probably Scandicar and Nordicar, or I think it's Scandicar and Nordicar, and there's like 8 other companies that do all that. So we're going to get underneath the car. It's 45 degrees outside. I got the heater going, and we are going to get this driveline in and go for a drive today. By God, we're going to do it. There's also supposed to be a little spring that attaches here. I don't have that. I'll put it on later. Trust me, it'll come back. All right, can you see this? There you go. Back underneath the car, we've got our dust screen. Those little triangle bits, they go on there first. I'm gonna try and do this one-handed. Then we've got our bearing. This goes in like this. Goes right over the end of that shaft, and then we're gonna get into those mounts, which is going to be impossible one-handed. But you can see, can you see? Yeah, we got our bearing, our dust screen, and then our mount here, and all that's going to slide on flush with the end of that front drive shaft. Can you see around over this way? There we go. Sorry, shaking. I smashed my thumb. My first finger, actually. Smashed my index finger. All right, I'll bring it back. All right, we got the front flange on, and I put the new hardware on there. On these flanges, the front flange, I think the nuts or the bolts are equidistant to the holes anyway, where I got lucky. Don't remember. And then coming back here, we'll move the light. This is going to be jittery and everyone's going to hate it. Yeah, we've got, I'll do this. So we've got our dust shield in there on the end of the front drive line. We've got our bearing in here. Do this. There we go. And then, I can't see, we've got that thrust washer in there, and then this little flat washer that I got to bend over right there, and the big nut. And to get the big nut on, I actually used these Harbor Freight Icon Parrot pliers. Worked amazingly well. I couldn't believe it grabbed that. I didn't even have an adjustable wrench big enough for that. And then over there, we've got the rear flange on. In the rear flange, the bolt holes are offset. They're too close and too far. So I think you got to remember to get the same flange on the back if you do this yourself. So next step, I'm going to grease this all up, pump some grease in there, and I've got a new tool for that actually. I've got my first, it's not a sponsorship, they sent me a tool to try out, and I'll go grab that and bring you back. It may or may not work on this. We'll see. So this is the Saker grease gun coupler lock, and they sent me this to try out. Tools are impossible to open. There we go, one-handed. And it is a grease gun with a release on it and a little locking bit there. So it opens up and then locks onto the nipple. So we'll try this out. See if that is small enough to get in between the U-joints on this Volvo, because they're not very big. But we'll attach this to my grease gun, just screws on, and got my grease gun over here. Right here, it's just going to screw onto the end here. It's not a ton bigger than that one. We'll try it out, see what happens. If it doesn't fit on the U-joints, we'll just go back to this one. But we will try this on at least the drive shaft and what we can get to on the front end of the car. All right, let me put this on. I'll bring you right back. So let's look at this on the drive line first. Here's our nipple for our center fitting here. And if this can get in there, which it can, that's good. We can lock that on like that. So it's stuck on that nipple. You can see that. And if I can scoot back here and do my grease gun one-handed, I hear grease. And I'm assuming, yeah, I can hear it going in there. And we're not coming out this end yet. Oh yeah, we got a little bit. There we go. Yeah, so we pushed through there. So we're greased on our center drive line, and all I do is pull and pop that off. Let's see if it fits in this U-joint. Right there. And this is the one I'm kind of suspect about, and this is probably my fault anyway, but you see, that's not going to go in there. But this is a tiny car, and I wonder if those are just too long on these U-joints. They're greased already. They've got grease from the factory in them. Did I mess it up by moving them around and all? Like, I don't know. But I might have to use a needle in there. And the other U-joints are exactly the same in these shackles. Let me look up here. Yeah, that one might be a good candidate. That one I think we're going to get on. I know you can't see this real well. And I'm on my back underneath the car. And I probably can't do this as easily one-handed. I don't think we're going to get in there. I think our shackle's in the way. But I'll get my other tip on there. It's a little bit smaller, and if I have to use a needle tip in there, I can do that too. But I think this tool works fine. It'll work fine on these, over here, I don't know if you can see this, but, you know, there's the nipple for the lower ball joint on the front end. That's easily going to grab that. Suspension parts look like they're no problem. But these U-joints might be a problem with this particular grease gun fitting. But it worked fine on the center, and we got looby-dooby in there. So we're good. I'm going to finish greasing this up. I'm going to lower it off my precarious jack stands. Make comments in the comments. And yeah, I got a jack under there too. I think I'm okay. I just had to get this higher. I had to get some more room underneath here. I don't have my quick jacks because I don't have any quick jacks. But we'll do this. We'll get this out of here and we'll go for a little drive. Well, we got out of the driveway okay. And down the road. Everything seems to be working just fine. No weird noises. You know, that little whine was there before. I didn't replace any gears or anything. And going down the highway here at 60 miles an hour now, speed limit right now. It's 55, but you know, close enough. A little bit windy today. Not too bad. Here comes a Tesla. And then just past the restaurant and gas station here. Speed limit becomes 70. Hopefully this car doesn't turn in front of me. $70, no problem. Oh, there's the speed limit sign. Well, the transmission didn't explode, the driveline didn't rattle off. Everything feels nice and smooth, sounds just like it did before. I think we have a success. So I'll drive this for a while before doing the next project on it. I want to redo the front end. I need to redo the bushings in the rear end. I've got all the parts to do all of that. I just need the time, and I don't want to spend all my time working on this. I really enjoy it, but and I love bringing these videos, but I got other things I need to do. So hey, until next time, get out there, do your project. It only takes an hour a day to make such a big change, and I'll keep doing that on my projects. And you have a great day. We'll talk to you later.